Greetings everyone, the first dev diary for the Fate of Iberia is here, and it is covering everything about struggles. We're learning the conciliation phases, the compromise, the opportunity, the hostility, all of that wonderful stuff, and all of the war crimes that will be committed in each and every phase. Perhaps not for conciliation, but still, it remains that there's a lot of details to go in and cover here, so we're going to be doing exactly that. So struggles are extended conflicts that are contained to a region and have different phases. In this case, this is the entirety of Iberia, and when catalysts occur, such as declaring war, points progress the struggle towards its next phase. To become involved with the struggle, certain events must fire, or a culture needs to have 80% of its counties within the struggle region, again, this being all of Iberia. Now, there are 3 levels of involvement, being involved, interloper, and uninvolved. The first and last categories are straightforward, but interlopers are in a purgatory where they have some involvement, but they are not fully committed to the struggle. Phases of the struggle are affected by parameters, character modifiers, and country modifiers. Parameters act similarly to doctrine and tradition parameters, but more difficult catalysts usually reward more points. Declaring war is not going to be as impactful as hybridizing 2 different cultures. If, for whatever reason, no one is doing anything and there are very few events happening, the struggle has a ticking score to progress things forward. The struggle itself has 4 phases: opportunity, hostility, compromise, and conciliation. Opportunity leads to hostility or conciliation, which builds or decays into compromise. During opportunity, wars are cheaper, changing cultures and faith is easier and cheaper. Interfaith marriages are unlocked, and holy wars are blocked off. Friendly actions contribute to conciliation, and hostile actions contribute to hostility. Hostility makes wars both cheaper and bloodier, boosts hostile schemes, and slows tech and economic progress. Conciliation makes wars costly, truces longer, and characters can unite to drive aggressors out of Iberia. Compromise is the final stage of the struggle, but it can lead to opportunity if there is no conclusion. This allows interfaith marriages, makes investments cheaper, and makes wars more expensive. Also by investments, I mean just building like faithholds, creating castles, creating like different like hill farms or hill forts, all of that stuff. Just investment is a very broad term here, and the devs don't really go into it too much, but just basically investing in the local county or what have you. The final stage of hostility is dominance, which gives house modifiers, conversion boosts, same faith and cultural religion buffs, and easy holy wars. Conciliation's endgame is detente, where involved cultures get large amounts of cultural acceptance, holy wars are disabled, and Iberian characters can band together in defensive wars against outside forces, and they made sure to clarify this is any and all outside foreign hostile wars, so anyone can just really group up and join together. Finally, for status quo, it is the last ending decision for compromise, and it is by far the most radical. It is very, very wacky, but if you like weird alternate history simulators, this is probably for you. It balkanizes Iberia, makes every kingdom in Iberia its own empire, and destroys the Hispania title. Additional duchies are transferred to kingdom titles, and all capitals are made into strongholds. So it's basically making everything much harder to use. Strongholds are going to be very annoying to siege down, and if you have fantasies about splitting the US up and balkanizing everything into different states, if you like playing CK3'S After the End mod, you are going to love the status quo scenario because it permanently destroys the Hispania title, as I mentioned, and that kind of leads to some freakouts where not everyone is an empire, but you are all your independent kingdom/empires, so you're not really a full-on empire. You're more so just like I guess these little remnants of a much larger whole which you cannot form. So there is some chaos there, and it's also this very awkward status quo. So that is something to keep in mind. So this is all fine and dandy, but I think it kind of begs the question, where do we go from here? The devs have even asked the community what they really think about all of this just going forward. And I think possibly next, everyone is asking basically for this to come to England, which could be a cool system, but I kind of have to stress against going too far and adding the struggle to everywhere and just making it another thing to manage. I know micromanagement is kind of a thing in CK3 and Solaris and many other Paradox games, and there really is a fine balance of not having too much micromanagement, but adding some to kind of give you a sense of control. And for some of those micromanagement freaks like me, I certainly like to manage a lot, but I know it is a lot for people to manage sometimes. So that is really kind of delicate to balance around. So that is something going forward. Also, I would consider places where the struggle may not be appropriate, maybe like the Norse lands. England versus the Norse and kind of fighting against the Danelaw makes sense, but like in homogenous territories where this is not too much conflict going on, adding the struggle system to it does not make too much sense. But I think for Spain, it's a great system, and I completely agree with everything or most of everything that has kind of been included in this dev diary. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video here. If you did, leave a like and subscribe as always, but also let me know where you think the struggle would be best applied, where perhaps you think it would be a terrible place to apply it to, and what you are really looking forward to in this DLC and future DLC. But thank you guys for watching. This has been 4 Extraordinaire. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and peace. All right, love you guys.